Hey, aloha everyone. Michelle Melendez with Blossom Inner Wellness and StandTogetherHawaii.com. And I wanted to do a quick video on the my testimony on the general plan. And I should have practiced more and I should have calmed down. And I said commodities when I meant commerce. So I'm a little bit bummed about that, but these people are still moving the plan forward. So I'm going to show you. I did get the gavel when I did my testimony, and I'll show you guys that. You can't hear the gavel, but that's why I stopped talking because he gavelled me. So anyway, I'll do a quick screen share and show you guys this kind of shit show. It's pretty much what it is, and just feels like the people, we had 20 people live, we had 17 people on the, let me stop the screen. 17 people on the Zoom. You guys, this general plan is going to it's being set up to literally turn the Big Island into a smart city, to give most of the land to away from the people. They're saying that the state owns the land and that the conservation, which is already state land, is going to be conservation, which means only a park can be on it. Then there's places where there's natural land, which means no people, no building, no farming, nothing. Then there's these areas where it's called rural, and I think that is where the clustered housing is going to be, because the general manager was talking about clustered housing. They want to bring in electric vehicles and have zero emissions on Big Island, which not only will totally destroy the electric grid, because we're already having power outages here. We don't have an electric grid that would sustain everybody on the island, including buses and semis, to have an electric vehicle. Plus, where are we going to put these? Because they are toxic waste. They're toxic waste. You cannot put an electric battery into the landfill, because if it cracks, it will spew toxic fumes. And the general manager, she actually got one firefighter that said, "Oh, we've only had 2 electric vehicle fires in 10 years because I've done testimony the fact that these are fire hazard, because once it cracks, that engine block cracks, there's fumes, gas fumes in the engine. So if it cracks, it becomes a flamethrower, and you can't put this thing out. It takes about over 2 hours to put out because of that. Regular water, just I mean, you can't put water on an electric fire. It won't work. So isn't that interesting, though, that we have all these issues with water on these big fires? That's another topic. But anyway, but she didn't say anything in her testimony about the fact that electric vehicles are a hazard. They're a hazardous waste. We cannot put them in a landfill here on the island. So are we going to ship them someplace else? And then who's going to pay for that? Like, there's so many things in this plan. Plus this plan, you guys, the Hawaiian Homelands is supposed to have a contract with the state saying that the state is supposed to give land back to the Hawaiian natives. They're not doing it, for one, but two, Hawaii Homelands isn't written in this plan at all. 0 times, zero. So that's what I talk about. And let me just share my screen and show you guys this, my testimony. And I wish that I would have said not commodities, but commerce. Commerce, Michelle. It's commerce, business. Oh, I forgot to do share sound. And then this is going to be a short video. If you are here on the island, if you have not joined StandTogetherHawaii.com, highly recommend that you do it. StandTogetherHawaii.com, because I send you an email about when the next general plan is. We have 2 in February, which is February 6th and 7th. Then the 3 in March, because this plan goes to the county council. And I'm really concerned about this because these commissioners, they're not using our testimony. There was almost 40 of us that said we don't want this plan. Almost 40 of us. 2 people said we want the plan to change the land use back to residential, I think, or maybe it was a different zone or a different land use, because it turned into conservation. And that's the other thing, is this one these 2 guys got on and said, our land use is now going to be conservation. So the general plan manager said that only state land is conservation, but this land is private property. and they're upset because it says, they said their land use, I got a letter that's saying their land use is going to turn into conservation. So that's kind of not true there. There's something wrong with that. What other private land is stated to be conservation, is set to be conservation? And then the other thing is this one guy said that he's not allowed to have storage on his commercial business property, and that this general plan would allow him to have storage. Okay, those are the only two people, only two testimonies that wanted this plan to go through, and it was for their own personal situation. And it had nothing to do with the fact that this plan is going to give most of the Big Island to the state. It's disgusting. And the rest of the testimonies were like, don't put this through. And these planning commissioners, all they're doing after our statements is just changing words, just changing, oh, let's just change this word to this word, and that, they're not listening to us. So I'm wondering if anybody, if the planning commissioners are watching this, I'm curious why. I know why. I mean, we all know why. Somebody said, Michelle, they are going to put this plan through and there's nothing you can do about it. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I have faith. So anyway, let me show you guys my testimony. I'm a little bit embarrassed by it because I said commodities when I should have said commerce, and then I got the gavel and didn't stop. Anyway, here we go. The general manager said the source of climate change was given to her by the authority of the state. Nowhere in the general plan does it say that. She said that she has a 3-page document that shows the source of climate change. Again, this 3-page document is not in the general plan. I could not find it. The Hawaii Revised Statute, Chapter 710, outlines criminal offenses related to the use of false statements and entries, including making a false, fictitious, and fraudulent claim is considered a Class C felony. How does the state have more expertise on climate change, which is the foundation of the general plan? Climate change is the foundation of the general plan, and she said that she has the source from the authority of.
Excuse me, ma'am, you cannot accuse, please do
I'm
not
not
accuse.
accusing anybody. I'm not accusing anybody. I'm
Just
stating.
please go ahead with your
This is my
testimony
testimony.
regarding the general plan. Thank you
My
very much.
testimony, sir. This is my testimony. How does the state have more expertise on climate change than experts in the climate field who are saying around the world?
Point of order, ma'am.
That's where he gives me the gavel.
I know you're very passionate, and we are all here, we're very passionate, but please keep your accusations on
not an
staff
accusation, that
members
is a statement.
and commissioners.
That is not an accusation.
So
That is a
I
statement.
will allow you to continue on your testimony, but please, let's address the content of the general plan.
That is a fact. And the climate change experts around the world say there's no climate danger. This is a ruse to bring in smart cities and electric vehicles where the renewable energy and electric companies will prosper, and people's expense will increase. Their right of privacy will be eliminated, and many freedoms will be taken away. The state has failed to provide evidence of where they get their authority to go over climate experts. Who is the state? Hawaii is not a state. Oh my
Why did
goodness.
Amazon send me?
Seriously? So let me just let this go. But I'll keep it going. Here we go. Of course they give
Territory,
do it.
also known, it's important to the state that the county of Hawaii and the state of Hawaii and the seal above you have Duns and Bradstreet numbers, which means they are a corporation. They are not a state. They are working in commodities for making money.
I was supposed to say commerce. I was just upset.
Not a government for the people. The planning department has sent letters to homeowners saying their land use will change from residential to recreation. That drops their property value. Show us a superior title where the planning department has superior title over somebody's property. The general plan manager also stated that the land that will be converted to conservation, where does it say that the state owns the land? Because when Queen Lily of Kalani had a gun to her head and she abdicated the throne, I'm pretty sure she didn't sign the document and title to the state. I thought that this land was solely supposed to go back to the Hawaiian people through the Hawaiian Homelands Department. Where in the general plan is it honoring the planning department's contract with the Hawaii Homelands? Because the Hawaii Homelands isn't written in this plan. Hawaii Homelands is written 0 times in this general plan. The only thing you as planning commissioners can do is to recommend that this plan not go through. Otherwise, You also, you could be held personally reliable. And this is why you're volunteers, because the state doesn't
Liable.
want to be liable for what you guys are doing. You have the power to not put this plan through because you guys are representing the people. And if you put this plan through, you could be liable and the state will not help you out with that. I remember, and then I want to say that I am part of We the People. We do not consent to this plan. This plan is,
Your 3 minutes are finished. Thank you.
this plan is through commodity.
Mahalo, Ms. Melendez, for your testimony. I appreciate your passion.
So I just wanted to say, my lesson in life is to calm down and to stay grounded. And that's my own lesson because these people are volunteers. I don't know. So I just feel like I just hope. I guess I just hope. And that's why I do the prayers that I do. But it is a scary time. And you know, when people when our homes are getting destroyed and our children are being, I can't even discuss that. But I just want to say, look at your own general plan. Go to these meetings, write letters. I'm going to be writing another testimony. I'm going to send the testimony that I was supposed to have read more eloquently. I'm going to send that to them so that they have the whole thing because I was not accusing her. I was stating a fact. The fact is that if you give false information, that it is a felony. That's a fact. So, and then I was saying, if you have this information, where is it? So that's what I was saying about that. And the other thing about the Hawaii homelands, about the Queen Liliuokalani, was that Queen Liliuokalani, she abdicated her throne under duress. She had basically guns, like men with guns in the room with her as she signed the abdication of her throne. So what I was saying was, did she also at that time signed land use title over land title over to the state? Because she didn't, because Hawaii didn't have titles back then. They didn't own land. They didn't have title documentation that said, this is your land. This is, you own this land, because they weren't owners of the land. They were stewards of the land. They took care of the land. They didn't own it. So the owners came in, not the owners came in, but the Commerce Corporation came in, created these documents that said that they own the land when they don't own the land. They're supposed to be stewards of the land. So that was my point. And had I not been so upset, I probably could have stated that a little bit better. But anyway, I go to these meetings as much as I can and I do the best I can. I had somebody just, as I said earlier, somebody said, Michelle, there's no use. And I don't believe that, because if we don't do anything, then yeah, but if we go on record saying this is not okay, then down the line, when it comes around, you know, it'll be shown the people didn't want this. There is a corporation that has taken over this island, the islands here, Hawaii. Hawaii is not a state. It's a state of Hawaii has a Duns and Bradstreet number. County of Hawaii has a Duns and Bradstreet number. That means they are corporations. And a corporation cannot be a government, because a corporation is for commerce. It's not for the people. A government is for the people. So those are two separate things. It's a conflict of interest. You cannot have a corporation be for the people because they're for money, they're for power, they're for land, which is what they're trying to do. So it's fraud. It's absolute fraud to have the state of Hawaii and the county of Hawaii be in charge of what happens in Hawaii, because that is for commerce. That's for money and power, not for the people. A government is for the people, but we don't have that here. And you don't have that where you're at either. Look at your state and go, state of Arizona, state of California. Put it in the Duns and Bradstreet .com website and find the Duns and Bradstreet number that shows how your state of Texas is a corporation. And that means that it is for commerce, not commodities, Michelle, commerce and money and power. So I want you just to Step up. Do your part as best you can, even if it's just sending an email or just sharing this video with somebody, liking it, commenting, whatever. I just appreciate that. So that's what went down the last meeting. The next one we have in here, and I'm going to be way more grounded, and I'm going to have be more eloquent and get the right language down. That's my goal for this next meeting, next two meetings, February 6th and February 7th. And then it goes to the county council and those on Big Island. Please, I'm going to send you guys an email, or actually in the description are the emails for the county council as well. So we need to be emailing the Leeward Planning Commission, the Westward Planning Commission, and all of the county council members, because they need to be seeing our testimony that the people do not comply with this. And we need to say, I do not consent. And we recommend, we don't ask them, we tell them, recommend this plan not go through. We do not consent. Have that somewhere in your testimony. And I'll leave the emails to send, where to send that. If you want to learn more about the general plan and why we're so concerned about it, you can go to standtogetherhawaii.com/action /action. And I have a whole PDF on it. Okay. Infinite intelligence. I forgive myself. I forgive myself for being a spaz sometimes and for just not trusting as much as I could. I can be more grounded. I can have more faith that this is working out. And I do. Great Spirit, infinite intelligence of all things. I know this is a game. I know it is. I know that this is a game for our souls. And I know that there's nothing to fear, even though sometimes I'm afraid. I just give it to you, Great Spirit. I don't know the outcome. I just know that I'm going to keep following my heart and I'm going to be more aloha in my heart and in my words and in my actions. I don't need to be angry. When I trust in you, Great Spirit, when I trust the heart that is beating in my body and breathing my the infinite intelligence that's breathing me, and the fact that the sun comes up and goes across the sky and gives us light and warmth. And I trust in that. I trust in you, Great Spirit, the infinite knowledge that has created nature, has created galaxies. This is so small compared to what you are, Great Spirit, and compared to what I am. I'm a frequency of light. And the infinite intelligence of all things is inside every cell of my body. So I just know that that is more of who I am every single day. That something wonderful is happening today for all of us, that the truth is coming out and being revealed on the planet, and that those who do not value human life, do not value human freedom, do not value people's private property, they are not standing anymore. Great Spirit, we trust you. I trust you. I trust myself. I trust my own kuleana, what is mine to do, and I leave the rest to you, Great Spirit. And it is done. Thank you. Thank you for the guidance, for the angels that always are with us, for those who are stepping up just to send an email. Thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you to all those people, all those almost 40 people that came to the Leeward plan and gave their mana'o, their energy, their spirit, and gave their testimony. Mahalo so much, Great Spirit, for each one of those people and for all the people that will be there February 6th and 7th. We know that we've got this. We know that those planning commissioners will be submitting a recommendation that this plan not go through. Thank you, Great Spirit. I feel the freedom that is here, always with us, that is through you. You gave us the freedom and dominion over everything, not this corporation that is acting fraudulently as a government. We do not get our freedom from them. We get it from you, Great Spirit, and we stand with you, knowing the power that you have is infinite, and there's no reason to be afraid. And so it is. Sending you so much aloha from the Big Island, and yeah, See you next time.